I'm going in. Luke, use the Force, Luke. Okay, Ben, I'll use the Force. Ben, you sadistic dead bastard, you got me killed. ROFL, Luke. Ha ha ha. That's what you get for listening to a dead man.
Hey guys, welcome to another Vlog Babble. You're sitting here with Chung and just babbling along. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the MWG store closing. And really, you know, they've been around for forever, giving us cool videos and stuff. Some of you guys might agree, most of you guys do. So, if you haven't heard already, they're closing the store because some of the new policies that GW released kind of was the catalyst of them deciding to close the store, which is kind of good, I think, in a way, in my opinion, because then they could concentrate on making more, you know, videos and working on the vault, which is, I think, a great thing. So, again, they're having a closeout sale, so go check out the store and you know, see if you can pick up some good deals. On the other end, if you want to support them as well as support the WGC, go sign up for a vault membership. That's the best way to, you know, support the WGC as well as, you know, them, because they are a producer of WGC. So if it helps them, it helps all of us in the WGC. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to, you know, talk about mainly. Also, we're going to go talk about a little about the GW policy, the new one. And really, it's like beating a dead horse, because every time they do something, it's always the same thing. And the purpose behind it is, I don't know. I really don't know. I stopped trying to figure out their business practices a long time ago. It doesn't make any sense. You know, when I have a product I want to sell, I want to get mass distribution as much as possible and get the product out the door, and that's how you make profit. Apparently, they kind of have a different idea about making profit and doesn't go with the, you know, the flow. So, but anyways, who cares? Basically, you know, we could just beat it to the dead horse. I could say, oh, boycott GW, but it never works. Honestly, and we're not here in the WGC. We're still going to cover Warhammer stuff. We're not going to leave that. But the purpose of WGC nowadays is really to move on. Okay? We'll still do Warhammer 40k stuff, but there's just so much great games out there in this day and age now, is that, you know, you can't, you know, discount those games, because those games actually are really good. And actually the starting price is very good too, because I think GW is really burying themselves not only with just the pricing, but the way they do the policies with the retailers and stuff like that. Again, I don't own a store, and I'm glad that I never jumped in on that opportunity when I was able to, because just seeing how, you know, one thing is true is that GW is still the leader in the wargaming community about the products. Sooner or later, that might change. I'm pretty sure it will change, especially maybe a year or two down the road, maybe a little longer. But there's a lot of up-and-coming games that are way, I think, in my opinion, way better. The fluff is pretty good, you know, and the great models. Okay, so, again, not ragging on GW or Warhammer, actually. Let's just say Warhammer. I love Warhammer. I love the fluff. The game's okay. I have my little opinions about 6th edition. And I have my opinions about, was it 8th edition? For fantasy, but I actually like 8th edition, and I really like fantasy more than 40k, and I always have. So, but anyways, we'll still cover those, but we're mainly going to cover a lot of new stuff, not a lot of new up-and-coming games, a lot of smaller companies that actually have a good, settled, you know, established game. And as most of you guys know, Mouthful is a big one here in the WGC, here in the U.S. East side, West side. But anyways, I wanted to put something a little into comparison here, okay, and this is kind of something I want to do, basically just to show you guys, like, the starting costs. Let's take $120, that's your budget, and you want to start into a war game, okay? Which one would you pick? What are your options? I mean, this $120 should get you into the game, get you all the rules, get you playing, and get you the models you need, right? So let's take a look. Okay, so remember, we're just going to go with retail pricing, because I know we could get deals and stuff, and you know, it shakes and bakes, right? You know, you can get stuff off eBay, whatever. But we're going to just go with retail, all right, just to make it a little fair. There's going to be one exception because it's actually a pretty good deal. But all right, so for Warhammer 40K, to get started, obviously you need the rule book, all right, $75. Okay, now we're doing a $120 budget here, so we can't get any of the new codexes because the new codex is $50. That just goes over our budget. So what we can do is get an older codex like the Orcs. That is $33. Okay, that leaves us no real room to get any figures to play Warhammer 40K at a $120 budget. I could get probably that pack of Orc Boys, 4 of them, for $10. Yeah. So that's not much there. But the good thing is we do have. However, let's go ahead and talk about, the starter set. For 40K, we have the Warhammer Vengeance set, okay? The Vengeance set will cost you $99. After that, you really have no choice of anything else because the models are so expensive. Might be able to get a special character, 1 or 2. The problem is you'll be able to play, this is like a beginning type of thing. So it'll give you maybe a feel for 40K, but honestly, definitely not enough to actually play, quote-unquote, a real game. It's not even a small game. You might be able to do Combat Patrol with it. Combat Patrol is kind of fun. Between, the set that you come in here, Chaos and Dark Angels. $99 box, okay? And then in this box, let's just go with the Dark Angels. Get Company Master, Librarian, Deathwing Terminator Squad, that's 5 Terminators. Ravenwing Bike Squad, that's 3 bikes, and Tactical Squad, which is 10, tactical Space Marines. Does not even fit the Force Org, okay? Obviously, just with those models. Now, this is a limited edition because with another model, which is kind of cool too. But you're not going to be able to play a real game of Warhammer with this, really. You're going to get about 650 points of figures, just at least for the Dark Angels side. So, get you into the game, but not really get you playing the game. All right, and let's be honest with that. 600 points really isn't a Warhammer 40K game. Definitely not. At least not for me. You gotta get maybe enough models to maybe do a 1,000-point game. This is where it starts getting fun. Maybe 1,250. The bigger games with Warhammer, especially because of Warhammer 40K, that's what it's about. The big games makes it fun. So there you have it. Not enough to get you started in playing the game. Now let's go to Warhammer Fantasy. All right. So to play Warhammer Fantasy, you need the rulebook, $75. You need the codex of the army you're playing. So let's go with Skaven. All right. The reason why I picked Skaven because it's an older codex. The older codex is $33. The new codexes are $50, so that does not fit into our budget. So there you have it. This is about all you can get for the $120 budget. Could get some figures. I looked around and I found out I could get Skaven Giant Rats, 4 of them for $10. But luckily we got the Island of Blood intro set, which comes with 2 armies, Skavens and High Elves. Is it enough to play an actual game of Warhammer Fantasy? No, that's not enough points. Because if we just look at just the Skavens, okay, that's going to give you 500 points. That's like nothing in Fantasy. And Fantasy, you want a decent-sized game, about over 1,000 points, to make it really actually any fun. I mean, some people out there might be able to, play at that level, that small point level. 500 really isn't that much, and still have fun with it. You get the Iron Blood set. Let's say you play Skaven and you go to the Skaven side. You get 500 points, and then maybe have enough for special characters here and there after the $100 cost because, again, models so expensive. Then again, with the starter sets, they only give you the stats in the starter sets in the books. Right, if you want to get new models, you have to get the codex, or rather the army book. So what we have in that 500 points is Skaven Warlord Engineer, 40 Skaven Clan Rats, 2 Rat Ogres and a Slaver, Warp Fire Thrower, and a Poison Wind Motor. So, is it enough to play a full game of Warhammer Fantasy? No. $120 will not get you into that. Okay, let's take a look at other games other than GW. because I really want to contrast with how much the 120 goes, because, let's talk about how it works with our pocketbooks, because most of us, the 99% I guess of us, really work hard for our money, and we want to make it go a long way. And one of the main reasons a lot of people quit GW stuff is because of the price. So let's go ahead and just take a look at it, okay? Let's start with Dark Potential by miniwargaming.com, of course. And to start, you could get 2 boxes. I'm working on Xanathos, because that's the faction that I currently play. So you get 2 boxes of Xanathos for $120. Rulebook is free for download. It's in beta right now, but it's free for download. Really cool, and this is the exception to the going retail thing, is that they have an army deal where you get 2 boxes of these for $100. So you got another $20 to maybe grab yourself a blister pack, maybe get an extra assassin or something if you're playing Xanathos. But it's pretty much straight up to the other 2 factions, where it's about the same price as well. So there you go. What's in the box is that you'll get a commander, 2 commanders, 2 soldier squads, which is 5 of them, 1 of them being the leader. So you get 2 leaders and 8 soldier squads, and 2 assassins. And again, the rulebook is free. Now, if you go with the army deal, there's the corporations 110, and the reclaimers is 100, which brings you with 2 boxes and stuff. But anyways, you can check it out on their site. But again, that 120 gets you playing at about 410 points, at least for the Xanathos, and that's a medium to large game for Dark Potential. Okay, for the next system, $120 will get you playing in the game, fully into the game as well. And we're going to talk about Malifaux, another popular game within the members of WGC, and we love this game. And for $120, let's take for example the Rail Crew. Mayfang Rail Crew. So, to start, Malifaux rulebook. Okay, get the 1.5. Sorry, this is all messed up. It's been used a lot. 1.5, $35. Get the Rail Crew set, $35. And you get a Rail Golem for another $35, and a Willy for $15. That's $120. This is more than enough to play a 40 Soulstone game. Yeah, that's what they call it, Soulstones, but 40 points. And that's about medium, maybe large, but you could play larger. And that gets you full into it. Now, there's ways that you could actually make the 120 go a little further. They have the rules online. A lot of it's cut out, but that gets you enough to get started. So if you don't want to start with the rule book, that will get you more models, another $35 of models, and you can probably get other stuff to, solidify your crew. For Mei Fang, there's a few other options that you could get, for Mei Fang. The other option is, if you're not really interested in fluff, you get the mini rulebook. Okay, and the mini rulebook costs $15, so you got another $20 to add to maybe getting another figure to up your crew. Get it to maybe 50 Soulstones. That's a pretty large game for Malifaux. But anyways, there you have it. Malifaux for $120 gets you straight into the game. Alright, the next game on the list to get started at 120, and we're going to use an example of using or buying or getting into Menoth. And that's kind of what the crew that I play, or rather the faction I play. Now, War Machine, Hordes, same thing. Just some of the mechanics are switched up, but they play together. So for War Machine, we get the rule book for $30. Okay, this is the Mark II rule book, the Menoth starter. Okay, and the Menoth starter comes with the Grand Exemplar Krios, the Crusader Heavy Warjack, Revenger Light Warjack, and the Repenter Light Warjack. Okay, and then what I would do if I was starting at 120 for Menoth with this set, I would play it with maybe get a Choir Menoth, and the Choir Menoth is $32, and then I would maybe get a Vassal Menoth, and this here is $8. Okay, so it comes with a total of 120. It'll get you up to about maybe 15, 16 points. It's a small skirmish game, so you don't go that you're not going to be able to go that big at 120, but for maybe another 100, you could get a nice size army with, better, synergy, like the Errant Knights or something. But we're not here to talk about, building a list, but what you can get for 120 and still play the game completely with all the rules and stuff. So the other options you have is just not buying the book here, and then save the $30 and go for the quick start rules. Quick start rules will get you going, all right? And they come with the starter set here. Or you could download them online. Okay. You also could, might want to get the army book. You don't need it because the stat cards come with the figures, but it's good to get because you get the fluff as well, and the fluff, like in any game, helps you along. So there you go. For $120, you get about 15, 16 point game, which you can play a small skirmish game, and actually you could actually play the game just with the box, the starter box alone, and it's still pretty fun. War Machine is still pretty fun at that level of points. Okay, the next game we're going to talk about is Infinity, $120. What you do start with is that you could play a full small game. Okay, so you will have enough to play a decent small game and have fun with it. First of all, the rule book is $50. Okay, and then what I started out with was the military order, and the military order is $45, and gets you the Teutonic Knight, Magister Knight, Specialist Sergeant, and 3 order sergeants. And then what I did was pick up a box of Fusilaries with combi rifles. That's a little box like this, I believe, and that is, I believe, $30. So it all came out to be $115, and that's enough to play a small game. Now, here's the other really cool thing about Infinity is that you don't have to spend $50 on this. You can download the rules online, so it's free, okay, and then you have that $50 to spend on a lot more models to play maybe a medium-sized game, depending on what you buy, medium to large maybe. So there you go. What I listed down here would be about 180 points, so that's a small game. But again, if you just download the rules instead, at $120, you'll have another $50 to spend on more figures to play a bigger army. Okay, the next game we're going to talk about is Relics by Tor Gaming. And for $120, I'll get you 191 points, which is a medium game. And we have the Relics rulebook for $28. We have the Newham starter set, and that's the faction I play. And it comes with the Paris. It comes with the Penitanians and the, I believe it's pronounced Dicticus. And I hate pronouncing these names, but it's kind of funny. So that comes with the starter set. And then you could get another set of the Pentateums right here. Comes with 3 of them. And then have enough to get to Dicticus. So that will come up to be 191 points, medium game. Now, really cool thing is that, again, these guys have the rules online for free. So if you want to opt to not get the book and maybe get another set of forces to solidify, your army, then you have the option to do it. And that might get you to a medium to almost large game if you get another set of figures or models to play with for your faction. And then there's other games that I haven't picked up yet. Last night I picked up X-Wing, which I can't wait to get started on. And that box set was $35, I believe, or $40, something like that. And then you'd be able to pick up expansion sets like expansion ships. And that's about $15 for the smaller ships. And then they got the Millennium Falcon, which is really cool, and the Slave One, when those are about, I think, $30. So just in that, you can play a really cool game of X-Wing for under $120. And there's also Drop Zone Commander, and for $120 could get you right into the game as well. Again, I don't have the models here with me. They're supposed to come soon. And then we have upcoming games like Warzone Resurrection. If some of you guys remember Warzone Resurrection, it looks like the pricing there isn't as bad as GW's prices. There's a game called Drake coming out, which I can't wait to tackle as well, and they have a Kickstarter on that as well. And then of course Wild West Exodus, which successfully ended just recently, and that looks like a fun game to play as well. So we have so many options out there now, and the reason why I wanted to do this was to put it into perspective, because look, 40K, Fantasy, Warhammer, love the fluff, love playing the game, especially love playing the game with my friends and stuff, but don't like the company policies, and sooner or later I really think in the future they're just going to bury themselves. Maybe. People say this all the time, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Hopefully maybe they'll see the light, change things around, who knows. But the most important thing I think for a lot of people is the price. And I want to put it in perspective of the price itself. $120 will get you started in probably every single game I've mentioned other than the Warhammer stuff, okay? $120 will get you into Malifaux playing a full crew, all right, and having fun with it. Get you playing a full faction in Dark Potential, a full game, a medium game in Relics, and a small game in Infinity. I mean, it just goes on. I mean, for the $120, you can make it go way further in all these other games. And this is why here at the WGC, we want to expose people for the different games that are out there, not just Warhammer. We'll still cover Warhammer. We love Warhammer, and we'll keep doing that. But again, hopefully this video will kind of put it into perspective for you guys. The stuff that we do here, the game companies that we work with that contact us, which we love, we see what they're all about, and then we try to give the news out to you guys that hey, there's a new game out there. It's affordable, it's fun, and the figures are really cool. And in most cases, I think. In most of these games, I really love the figures, and I think that they're, if not better, then just as good as the GW figures that come out. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining me on this vlog babble. Again, sorry so long, but if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. And if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, then dislike it, right? And sub if you haven't, and favorite if you love me. Talk to you guys later.